Hey guys, back on another podcast of I'm Fine with me, Mohanna. So I'm going to talk about something that happened to me very recently. Oh my god, I just hit myself in the face. That's fine. But something that happened to me very recently. I have recently went back to my old high school. I will not name my high school. For those who know me, know what high school that I went to. Feel free to share amongst, I don't know, everybody else. But I recently went back to my old high school. I have not been there in like about 10 years. Like, no kidding. I graduated and never went back to visit anybody. I think I went back, lies. Wait, I think I went back during the summer to check on my fellow color guard members. And yes, I was in color guard. I know. It's like, it sounds nerdy. Like, saying it out loud now, it just sounds nerdy. And whatever. I was never the sporty kid. I could not throw. I could not run. I was clumsy. I mean, I'm still am clumsy, but a lot better at, I don't know, maneuvering, balancing. I don't know. I feel like I got better with coordination and throwing and became more sporty after I got out of high school. Backwards, I know. I don't get it either. I wish I had those skills while I was in high school, because then maybe I would have got somewhere quicker. Could have got a scholarship. I don't know. My gym teacher did used to try to get me to run track because I had very long legs. I still have very long legs. But if you see me run, you would realize that I run like a dinosaur, or like, I run very funny. I exercise funny. My husband likes to pick on me all the time. Like, I do not look remotely right when I'm exercising. Like, every time I'm exercising, it looks like I'm about to injure myself. Like, no lie. Looks like I'm about to injure myself. I like look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that right. And then I'll try to correct myself and I'm like, still doesn't look right to me. It does not look like that lady in the video that I'm watching. And everyone's like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But it just literally looks like I'm about to like break a bone or like have a muscle spasm after I'm done. It just, whatever. Okay, but anyway, back to me going to high school. So it was recently my music teacher and one of my at the time when I was at high school, like the last year, I believe, or 2 years, she was our color guard, like director, instructor. She helped with the color guard. They were retiring. And I got a message from one of my friends that I was cool with in high school. One of very few, let me tell you, people that I was very cool with in high school. I haven't talked to her in years. She hasn't talked to me in years, but it was fine. Like, it was just, we picked up from where we left off. Everything was cool. So I decided to go, and then I was telling my husband about it because I was like chickening out of it. I was like, I don't really want to go. Like, no, not for me. I think I'll just sit this one out. Like, I don't need to relive anything. And when we were talking about it, my husband, he was like, no, you gotta like face your traumas. Like, ever since I met him, ever since I met him, I'm always talking about, oh, my high school, I was so traumatized. Oh, I was like one of the very few black kids there. Like, it was terrible experience. No one liked me, like blah, blah, blah. All the stuff. Like, if anyone who grew up, I'm from Jersey. So if anyone who grows up in Jersey, in Bergen County, more precisely, growing up in the early 2000s area, I graduated high school in 2015, but I started high school in 2012, 2011. And growing up in that era, it was not fun. It wasn't fun. It was no one to relate to. It was no one. Well, all I can say, I had no black people to look up to. Just being like straight up honest. It probably was black people out there that was doing their thing. I didn't see them. All I seen was like Kelly Clarkson. That's who people were listening to. Rihanna was out. Yes, she was out. I listened to some Rihanna songs. Yeah, she was out. It was some black artist that was out there, but they were not correlating to me according to the lifestyle that I was living. I went to a majority white, Caucasian, Asian high school. Like, they were not listening to black people music. That they weren't listening to any soulful music. If they were, I didn't know about it because all I heard was like pop, Kesha, Taylor Swift, Adele, Sam Smith. That's all I was hearing. That's all I was hearing. I mean, nobody was trying to sing Alicia Keys because they couldn't sing her. So it wasn't, No, it wasn't a fun time. And also like I feel like now my daughter goes to school with majority Caucasians, majority Indian, majority Asian, and her experience is totally different, thank God. Thank God. It's just now like I feel like with the LOL dolls coming out and they're making them like, curvy and their hair is all like curls and afros and it's just like a whole bunch of love for black girl magic. Like everything's just working out in black kids' favor at this point, and much better than when it was working out when I was going to school. Because when I was in elementary school, when I was in middle school, we had the black dolls that looked gray or like chocolate black. It was no in between. It was gray, chocolate black, or white. Like that was your only options for dolls. So my mom always just like, oh yeah, you didn't want the black doll. I'm like, mom, they don't look like me. They're not even brown. They're gray. Like it's a gray doll, a gray doll. And Barbie doesn't even look like a black girl. Like that wasn't, no, it wasn't, we could not identify with that. Even far as my high school experience was also terrible because I was in honors science. I was a nerd. Yes, a little bit of a nerd. Not a smart super nerd. No, was not in all honors classes. No. But I did care about being smart. I did care about competing with the smart kids. I was in color guard, like I said, which was a very, 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 marching band was a very nerdy thing when I was going to high school. I don't know how people feel about that now, but when I was going to high school, it was like a nerdy thing. Like you were just a nerd. Okay, so like straight up, I was in color guard swinging those big flags. So like that wasn't, you were supposed to be a cheerleader. I had no coordination, like I said earlier, so cheerleading was not on the maps for me. I did go to one orientation or audition or pre-tryouts with one of my good friends at high school at the time. She also was black. And we were like exiting out there real quick because we just realized it was just this whole bunch of like skinny girls, no curves, no hips, no nothing. You had to look a certain way to be in that cheer squad, let me tell you that. And that was not happening. But looking back, I was size 4, so like I don't know how much more skinnier I could have got unless I just would have just shaved my bones down. But anyway, I went to this retirement party, farewell, goodbye, to say to my music teacher. Now, me and my music teacher did not have the greatest relationship by any means. It wasn't like I was excited to go say goodbye to her. I just wanted to, sometimes when you get older, and sometimes when you're younger, you have a different perspective. And like things are very like I don't even know the right word for it. Like when you're exaggerated, like when you're a little kid, like your perspective can sometimes be very exaggerated. Like things are not as big and as personal as it was. And that's just being upfront about it. Sometimes when you can like experience stuff and you remember stuff when you were younger, oh, my parents did this to me, and then you look back at when you get older, like, oh well, it really wasn't that bad. I was just more into myself and I just was taking it more personal than it needed to be taken. So that was more of the reason why I was going. I wanted to see, did I still have those same feelings? Were the people, was the vibe still the same thing? And it was. Like I really wish I was wrong. That's one of the things that I wish I can say and was like, oh no, Mohanna, you were really wrong. Like you messed up. Like you were just really like in tune to your own self and like in denial and into your own little delusional world about racism and stuff like that. But that wasn't true. It was not true. The vibe was very well off. Of course, some people were cool. Some majority of the people were not cool, but it wasn't the vibe. No, it was not the vibe. I felt very uncomfortable. Again, only black person there. Big surprise. Big surprise. Okay, so whatever. But anyway, me and my music teacher did not have a good relationship. One of my memories that I will share, I remember having, is that we did musicals. I was in musicals and one acts for the whole entire time that I was in high school. I did musicals. I started musical theater in my school was very, very big. Like I have to give it to them. That school outdid their self with the musical theater. Like the performance, we built sets from scratch. We painted stuff, our performances, our lighting, everything was top notch, okay? Everything was great. When I was a freshman and sophomore, I did not care if I did not get a part because I felt like I was inexperienced. I did not have the ability like some of the other kids did to perform that well. And at the end of the day, you're casting to put on a great performance. You're not casting to like make people like you. It's whoever plays the part the best. And I understood that. I did truly understand that. I quit musical theater my junior year and senior year because I just felt like that thing just got really ridiculous. Like, you're saying, oh, you don't fit a casting type, and I'm telling you the truth because in the real world, when you're going to cast, they're not going to cast a black woman as a white role, but they will cast an Asian or a Filipino, and they're much darker. They're not that too far from my shade, some of them. Not too far from my shades. Not the ones that I went to school with. They're not too far from my shade. No. So my thing, I was like, bull crap. You're calling, I'm calling, bull crap. And those people could not sing. Some of them could not sing. Like, whew, they could not sing. Lord Jesus, some of them cannot sing. No. And when I mean I can't sing, I'm not dissing them. I'm not being bitter. I'm not being bitter. My music teacher, when I was auditioning, because she would audition, like, she'll practice with us and stuff like that. Every time I would be practicing with her, oh, take that riff out your voice. Why is your voice sounding like water? Blah, blah, blah. No, you can't do that. They want us to sing the very basic Caucasian musical theater style. And when I was growing up, that was the only way to get into these musical theater schools. And as most Black people will tell you, you have to sing like that to get your foot into any type of door. Like, you just can't go to a musical theater and just sing hip-hop-ish or poppy way and then you just get the part. That's not how it is. You have to sing a certain way by their guidelines. And if you don't sing that way, you don't perform that way, you won't even get ensemble. You won't get ensemble. You won't be singing in the crowd with everybody else who's singing behind them while the main person's in front. You won't be singing with them because you're not singing the way that they want you to sing. Now things clearly has changed. We have Black Little Mermaid. We have the Wizard of Oz. We have the Wicked Witch of the West. She's Black and she's singing, putting her own twist on it. And she has the little riffs in there, but I guess I was way before my time. But anyway, it's just a different thing. So when I went, it was just very uncomfortable. I stayed, I gave her flowers, I sang the song. I didn't like the song. No one liked the song, to be fair. I wasn't the only one who liked the song. No one liked that song. And then after that, we went downstairs for refreshments and stuff like that, but I couldn't take it. It was just a very, very uncomfortable vibe, just like the same way that I went to high school. And why was it uncomfortable? Because, the people were still in the same bullcrap that they were on when you left. You have the people that are like, oh, our favorite music students, and they're just not doing music, some of them. I mean, they weren't doing music. I'm not doing music anymore, but hey, to each his own. But it just wasn't a good thing. And all these memories started coming back up, and it was just very, very overwhelming. It was very overwhelming experience. High school was a very overwhelming experience. Before I went to Bergen. In Bergen County, I moved around a lot, so I've been to different schools in Bergen County. For middle school, I went to Woodridge. Oh, Jesus. That was terrible. That was terrible. Going through puberty as how old was I? 11, 12-year-old girl around all white girls who did not grow boobs as fast as you, and then you grow them and they're calling you fat. You are, like, self-esteem is just snatched. Like, because you have no one else to compare yourself with. You're the only Black girl. You're the only person that looks different, and you're being constantly picked on. No boys like you. They all find you disgusting. They're calling you the blackest, ugliest person to exist. And then your self-esteem is just shot. I mean, in middle school, your self-esteem is already on, like, just, waving. It can just go anywhere. But when you're definitely like the sore thumb that sticks out, your self-esteem is just. And like I said, when I was going to school, if you were not athletic as a Black girl, you just go sit your ass in the corner because nobody's paying you any attention. No one's paying you any attention. You have to be sporty. That's how it was going. Now, my brothers, on the other hand, had a totally different experience than I did. I mean, Black guys in white neighborhoods, I feel like, thrive a lot better than Black girls at the time that I was going to school. Again, I don't know how it is now. When my daughter going to school now, she is thriving. She has a lot of friends, and I'm so happy. I pray it stays like that, especially going to middle school soon and high school. I pray it stays like that. I don't want her to have the same experience as me. I do not invite that into my life. I even make effort to bring on the most play dates I possibly can. I get involved with the PTO, well, the PTA. I get involved being class parents. I try to get involved as much as possibly as I can so this girl can have the best school experience. Because like I said, I did not have a great school experience. Every single thing that I can remember in my life was always about the color of my skin. It really was. And people are always like, oh, you're exaggerating. But no, I was not. I was not exaggerating. I remember being in first grade. I went to, not this school I will reveal. I've lived in Elwood Park when it was all white. Now Elwood Park is not like that. It's more Hispanics. Like, it's not like a lot of white people there. But when I went, it was 4 black kids out of kindergarten to 5th grade. 4. 4 of them. And in first grade, I was the only black girl in first grade. It was not a great experience. I had trouble with reading. Like most first graders do. You're learning how to read. You don't know how to pronounce the words. I would go after school. I remember my teacher, Miss Cherry. Do not like her to this day. If I ever see her, I probably don't really remember how she looks, honestly, but Miss Cherry was terrible. I would stay after school and get extra help. I'm 6, 7 years old trying to learn how to read and pronounce words, which you go after school for extra help to learn about certain things. And she's calling me stupid. A 7-year-old girl, the teacher's calling you stupid and you're not paying attention, you're not reading, and you're like, I'm literally here for extra help to try to understand. Like, I'm not here to fool around and you're calling me stupid. At 6, 7 years old, it's just like, it's a crazy dynamics. And then she's helping the other kids and she's being more patient and more kind to them. And you're looking at yourself, you're like, but what's wrong with me? Like, what did I do? And you don't understand. And then you tell your parents, but they're not moving you out the school. So, I mean, and then they can go and argue, but now they just look like my mom is black. So she looks like the angry black woman. So it's just like a negative stereotype going to school. It was always like such a teeter-totter. Like, you want to tell your parents, but you also don't want to tell them. Because 1, it's just going to make the situation worse. 2, you're not going anywhere. You're going to school the next day. For as many years or as long as your parents choose to keep you in that neighborhood, you're going to be there. So you're either going to make your life even more uncomfortable or you're going to stick with that uncomfortability that you know already. So for me, I had to choose to sit there with the uncomfortability that I know already until things got much worse that I could not take. So middle school, it was like that. And then when we moved to my high school and we stayed in that town for a very, very long time, that did it for me. Like, it just, mentally in high school, I was not in a great place. I just kept saying, okay, 2 more years till I graduate from high school, then I go to college and I can find myself and boys will like me, and then I can find who I truly am and who I belong to, and realize that being black is not a terrible thing. Now, mind you, when also you're going to school with other black people in the high school that I went to, you had some girls, we'll just give it a second. It's just crazy. They'll be like, oh, I'm not black. And I'm like, what do you mean we're literally the same color, we're black. No, I'm Haitian. No, I'm Trinidadian. And you're like, but in America, we're all black. They're all just looking at our skin color. They're not sitting there identifying us as, oh, we're this and that. Me, I am half Asian. My dad's literally from Pakistan. I am not fully black. But automatically on my state test in high school, which I'm pretty sure anyone could look up these damn records, they automatically assumed I was black. They didn't have no mix option. They didn't ask me what I was. They automatically put black down for me. I did not get a say so. On my college applications, when I was applying to certain colleges, and my high school was very involved with helping us plan and situate out stuff and planning stuff for college and blah, blah, blah. They put black for me. I did not have a say so whether, hey, no, but I am half Asian. My dad's from Pakistan. They didn't give me that option. Hell no, they didn't give me that option. They just put black on the paper. Offensive. Very offensive, because at the end of the day, half of me is because of my dad. If my dad was not here, I would not be here. If my dad did not help make me, I would not be here. Same thing with my mom. If my mom wasn't there, I would not be here. It's just, when you're mixed as a kid, it's a terrible experience. It's a terrible experience. It really is. I mean, growing up in my own family, it was terrible. Having a black mother and you're around your black family members, they're always like, oh, you're not black. You're mixed. You have good hair. You're Indian. Then you go around and you're like Indian, Pakistani family. You're not Indian, you're black. Your dad should have shaved your head 2 more times for your hair to be straight. Like, lady, no matter how many times my dad would have shaved my head, my hair would be curly. Probably even more curlier at that point. I have very curly hair. My hair is straight now. I straightened it, but my hair is super curly. No matter what you did to my hair, shave it, cut it, it just washed it a million times. Like, it just would have been curly. That's just what my makeup is. I'm a mixed kid. My brother, we all have different hair textures. My brother, his hair is more like, his hair is curly, not as curly as mine, but a little curly, looks more Egyptian, you know? He has nice hair. My younger brother just has like straight up black hair. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Slightly mixed, but more black. That's just what it is. We all, when you're mixed, you just have some weird ways of coming out. Each kid looks a little bit different. But growing up in an all Caucasian, Asian, Indian environment, it's terrible. It was terrible. My God, it's terrible. It just wasn't the vibe. So when I went back to high school, all these feelings just resurrected in different ways and was just hitting me. I called my best friend who lives in the town, by the way. I was like, I need to get out of here. I feel very overwhelmed. And when we were sitting there at the restaurant that we went to, she was like, I can't believe you went to the high school. And I was like, I know, I don't know why I did that to myself. And she's like, you're sober? I was like, I was very sober. Like, I shouldn't have been sober, but I was. And was it something else? Was that something that I will experience again in my life? No. Would it be people from my high school that would try to debunk what I'm saying? Yes. But are they black? Hell no. So they wouldn't know that experience because they were all trying to fit in. And a lot of people that were Hispanic in my high school are now claiming they're Latinas and Latinos. But when we were in high school, they did not claim that. Bullcrap. They were not claiming that. They called themselves Caucasian. They were hiding. So now it's funny when I see them on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. They're like, oh, proud Latina, blah, blah, blah power. And I'm just like, excuse me? That's what you're saying? Oh, we're claiming the person that we were all along? It was just crazy. I have nothing else to say. That was just crazy. Yeah, it's just, that's interesting. That one shook me for a while. Or you have, you go to, I understand people change. I really do get that. But when you're like scarred by something or traumatized, it's a little hard for you to move past it like other people. Like, it's a little hard. And I think people who grew up like me, who are black and grew up in very predominant white Asian suburbs, you can relate to what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, people, I know it's black people that's darker than me, but let me tell you something. When you're in a school with full of Caucasian and Asians, you are the darkest thing. It's no such thing as light-skinned brown, or you're just brown, or you're black, or blah, blah, blah. It was none of that. Even black girls that I went to high school with, I could still see them, and I can tell, all kind of suffer from the same thing. Everyone's trying to find themselves. Everyone is developing their black girl magic. It's been a whole process. You can still see that they're processing it. It's just like, it's a continuation. And me, you would think like after I got, while I was in high school or in these suburban neighborhoods growing up, that I would have like other outlets of like my cousins to hang out with. No, I didn't have anyone to hang out with. Nobody. It was just me, myself, and I. And well, me, myself, and my family. Like, that's all I knew. I was in this bubble for a long, long time. So when I went to college and stuff like that's when I realized, okay, I am actually attractive to guys, or I am actually a cool person to hang with, or I'm not the darkest person ever, or I'm not weird, or I'm not like a super nerd. And it's just like, you have all these realizations about yourself that you never knew. So you're rediscovering yourself in a sense. It's just, you're trying to debunk stuff that you've been telling yourself for years and what people have told you for years. So it's just a really crazy thing. So going back to high school, it just made me feel small again. It did. It made me feel very small. It made me feel like I was a child, like I didn't have a choice. But the greatest part about it was leaving. Like, I realized that I had a choice. I did not have to go back ever again. I didn't have to go in the first place. I didn't have to go back in the first place, but I'm glad I did. I realized that my perspective was real. I wasn't exaggerating. I wasn't blowing things out of proportion. My perspective was true. It was true. It was really, really true. Watching the ensemble perform and the songs that they were performing, it was no black people in that ensemble, still to this day. I was a black person on the ensemble, but I didn't audition. She didn't ask me directly, my music teacher. She had somebody else ask me because people can't sing in my grade. They couldn't sing. And no. I grew up in church, so you had to sing in church. They would kick you off that choir real quick if you can't sing. It's no notes, it's no nothing. You just know how to sing naturally. You know how to harmonize naturally. You know how to do all that stuff naturally. So if you couldn't get with the pace, you were off. And you were called out for it too. So growing up in that sense, like I grew up not with the technicalities of like music. Oh, this is note is the G and you're singing in the F and blah 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 that. I learned that in high school. I also learned that myself because like I said, my music teacher wasn't very fond of me. She didn't like the way that I sing. She didn't like the way that I did stuff. I wasn't singing like opera or high angelic soprano or singing it the white way of singing when I was growing up, like very Little Mermaid-ish, very Cinderella-ish, very Broadway-ish. Like when I was growing up, then you were not getting a part. You weren't getting a part. And one guy that we had different directors come in every year to audition us, and they constantly kept rotating directors. And he said to me straight up, I'm not casting you because you have more of a studio voice, like straight up, like you're not getting any part because you can't sing like them. And I was okay with that. I just wanted to hear that I actually was singing well, that I wasn't not keep debunking the way that I was singing, like making it seem like I was terrible. And now that I grew up and I hear all these people on the radio, I'm like, we sound the damn same. Like we sound the same. Like what I was singing in high school was the same like as these artists are singing now. So it's just mind-blowing to me to like grow up and see that. And even now, like going back to high school and seeing the way that the kids are performing, I'm just like, wow, like some things just don't change. And it's a couple black kids in the chorus. They're not in ensemble though. They're in the chorus. They ain't in ensemble. Ensemble is a step up from chorus. That's when you can sing. Those people can't really sing. But hey, to each his own. They probably can sing excellent to the people that are judging them. But no, you won't have a music career singing like that if that's what we're basing the stuff off. That's what I'm basing it off. You won't have a singing career compared to that. But like I said, that whole going back to high school was traumatizing. I knew it was going to be terrible. I was going there trying to be open-minded. I wasn't going there like, oh, I'm not going to talk to anyone. No, I talk to everyone. People are pretending like they don't know me. We follow each other on Instagram. I like your pictures. You know who I'm talking about. And you're just looking at me in the face and not saying hi. So we're adults now. We don't have to pretend with each other. And I 100% agree with that. I don't have any bad blood with anyone. People that I follow from high school, that's on my Instagram, that's on different types of social media, and we follow each other. I have no bad blood with them. I just choose not to be bothered. I mean, we had that chance in high school. We had that chance after high school. So no, I'm good. I don't want to be bothered. No. It's okay. People that I was cool with in high school, fine. Like, we're cool. We're not cool. As we get older, it's just, you realize who deserves your time, who deserves your energy. You realize what places you want to be put yourself into. That's why I got out of that high school after I did that whole little performance thing and said hi to everyone. That was enough for me. My anxiety and trauma level was like through the roof. It was too much. No, never again. No, I wouldn't even go to a class reunion if we had one. They don't do it, but I just wouldn't go to one. No. But hey, I mean, that's life. But I'm glad that I re-experienced and reconfirmed what I already knew, but at least I got to see that I wasn't being dramatic. I wasn't being hypocritical of other people. I wasn't like, oh, it's me, or playing the black card like everyone would say I was playing in high school. I wasn't playing that stuff. It was actually true. It actually did happen to me. And I wasn't exaggerating. I wasn't lying to myself that something that really did affect me a lot and still affects me, if I'm being honest. My self-esteem level and confidence level is still, I have to still work on that, because things that I think about myself is not necessarily true, only because people said that to me, or because I believed it for so long, or I was comparing myself against other people who do not look like me at all. So it's a process. It's really a process. Anyways, I am glad that I went. I am okay now. I'm fine. But would I do it again? Hell no. Nope. You could not pay me to go. No, thank you. And for any other kids of color, Black kids that are going through that, you hang in there because it does get better. It's a process. But whatever you're going through is just going to make you stronger. I used to hate when my mom used to say that to me. I hated it. Oh, with a passion. I hated that so much. But it does. It does make you stronger. It does put you in the places that you need to go. And just mentally, you will grow and you will become stronger from your experience. Don't let what anyone's saying to you push you down. Don't do it. It's going to affect you, yeah, for a long time. It's going to affect you probably for the rest of your life. But you will learn how to cope. You will learn how to get over, and you will learn how to debunk some of those stuff that you told yourself for years or people have told you for years. You will realize you'll start believing more in yourself. And I think that's the most important thing. And I know I would not be here where I am today if I have not gone through those experiences, as messed up and tragic as it was. I would not know how to deal with a lot of the stuff that I had to go through with life. So I am grateful for the trauma, in a sense, as messed up as that whole sentence says. It sounds, it just really, I am grateful for it, in a sense. It just, it was a time. It was a time, but I'm fine. So join me for my next episode.